TV News Express, Ganduje appointed chairman of Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria Board. In business again, Dangote Petroleum Refinery slashes petrol price to 820 naira per liter. And on the foreign scene, United States restricts Nigerian non-immigrant visas to 3 months single entry. In sports, Musa to lead Kano Pillars attack despite general manager role. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. Coming to you live from nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has unveiled the former national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. The inauguration was confirmed in a video posted on X by the Special Advisor on Digital Media to the Minister, Benga Saka, during the formal inauguration of newly appointed authority board members in Abuja. The federal government has released the June 2025 salaries of lecturers and other tertiary institution-based workers. Following this development, branches of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, have notified their members across chapters to resume work. The chapters of the union across certain federal universities had declared a no-pay, no-work policy following what they described as consistent delay in payment of monthly salaries over 5 months. The delay was attributed to the immigration of academics from the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System platform to the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System platform by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says it has deployed mobile intensive care unit ambulances to its operational offices in Kaduna, Owerri, and Uyo to boost emergency response and save lives during the predicted flood season. In a statement released in Abuja by the agency's press unit, the Director General, Zabada Umar, approved the deployment following an assessment that revealed critical equipment gaps in some of the field offices, noting that the decision aligned with its ongoing effort to optimize resource allocation and improve disaster response capabilities at the sub-national level. Umar noted that the deployment was a strategic step towards strengthening the operational capacity of the agency's zonal directorates and operation offices. Over now to Vice President Kashim Shettima has raised alarm over the devastating impact of malnutrition on Nigerian children, revealing that nearly 40% of those under the age of 5 suffer from physical and cognitive impairment as a result. Speaking at the National Summit on Nutrition and Food Security, the Vice President, represented by Senator Ibrahim Hadija, announced a new government-led initiative aimed at tackling the crisis. Our correspondent, Anita Patrick, tells us more.
At a high-level summit organized by the House of Representatives Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, Vice President Kashim Shettima sounded a warning about the growing nutrition crisis in Nigeria. Represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Ibrahim Hadija, the Vice President revealed that malnutrition is robbing 40% of Nigerian children under 5 of their future, both physically and mentally. To tackle the issue head-on, he unveiled the Nutrition 774 initiative, a grassroots-focused framework designed to deliver nutrition solutions directly to Nigerians' 774 local government areas.
Yet we must admit that the occasion that brings us here today is not celebration. It is a reminder of the burden that we bear, a malnutrition crisis that continues to rob nearly 40% of Nigerian children under 5 of their physical and cognitive potential.
While acknowledging ongoing support from partners like the World Bank, UNICEF, and Nutrition International, the Vice President emphasized the need for unified national efforts under one framework that promotes transparency and shared responsibility. Speaker of the House, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, warned of the heavy cost of inaction and revealed that Nigeria loses an estimated $56 billion annually, 12.2% of its gross national income malnutrition. He also highlighted the burden of multiple levies on food transporters, which drives up food prices, and worsen insecurity.
Malnutrition stands out as a human tragedy and a development challenge. Millions of our brothers and sisters, especially children and women, suffer the consequences of poor nutrition. This summit must therefore galvanize us to forge sustainable, evidence-based solutions.
Chairman of the House Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, Honorable Chike Okafor, stressed the urgent need for better oversight. He proposed regular training for lawmakers and tighter controls on both local and international nutrition funds.
Beyond the health effects of malnutrition and lack of food, which includes stunting, low birth weight, anemia in children, adolescent girls, and women, there is considerable cost economically.
The committee is also engaging stakeholders nationwide and supporting the rollout of the new Nigerian Tax Administration Act 2025, which is expected to improve revenue flow and boost nutrition funding. Annie Xie, Patrick, Global Television News.
The Senate has expressed strong disapproval over what it described as prolonged marginalization and lustiness in the recruitment practices of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. Spanning more than 2 decades, during the investigative hearing on recruitment disparities in federal agencies, the Senate Committee on Federal Character, Intergovernmental Affairs, chaired by Senator Alwell Oyeso, hosted official forum both NAFDAC and Transmission Company of Nigeria. Over now to Topsy Gimba for details.
The chairman, Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs, chaired by Senator Alwell Oyeso, described the unequal regional representation within NAFDAC's workforce, accusing unnamed powerful individuals of manipulating the recruitment process. He insisted that such imbalances could not be justified in a diverse country like Nigeria.
Those areas, and if you follow the history of other ones we've looked at, you will see that for everywhere you have excessive employment, somebody strong comes from there.
Also speaking, the Senate Minority Whip, Senator Osita Ugo Enugu West, linked the mass relocation of Nigerian medical doctors and other health professionals abroad to unemployment and persistent recruitment and bias in federal agencies.
Unemployment is one of the biggest problems in Nigeria today. How can we say we don't have doctors and pharmacists when they are running out of the country? Some can't run because they don't have the means. And some are trying to run because they don't have the job. So if we are open and transparent, we will see these people.
In her response, the Director General of the NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, acknowledged the concerns raised by clarified the agency had not conducted any recent recruitment. She attributed the existing imbalance to past recruitment exercises and emphasized that addressing the issue will require time.
Also affects us in NAFDAC is the fact that we're a scientific organization. Except for HRM and accounts, we are a scientific organization. Medical doctors, lawyers, veterinarians, pharmacists, and all areas of science.
The committee pledged to continue its oversight functions to ensure transparency, fairness, and equity in public sector recruitment as part of efforts to promote national unity and inclusiveness. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The National Assembly has unveiled a sweeping legislative reform agenda. As Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin announced the consideration of 109 constitutional amendment bills. Speaking at the 2025 National Assembly Open Week in Abuja, Speaker Abbas said the proposed amendments span electoral, judicial, governance, and human rights reforms. Our correspondent, Annette Patrick, tells us more.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, in his remarks says the Open Week program reflects the commitment to an open parliament that listens and responds to citizens, adding that among the notable proposal is reversing 10% of legislative seats for women and 5% for persons with disabilities. Also, on the table are plans for same-day general elections, independent candidacy, and the establishment of a dedicated electoral commission for local government elections.
Regarding constitutional reform, we are considering 109 amendment bills across various sectors, including electoral, judicial, legislative, and inclusive governance. 12 electoral reform bills address the scheduling of all general elections on a single day.
In a move to ease interchamber tensions, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, pledged to expedite over 160 House-passed bills, currently awaiting Senate concurrence, following the House outcry over legislative delays. He praised the Open Week initiative as a crucial tool for deepening public understanding of legislative functions.
I think this Open Week, the Open Week, is a major innovation into parliamentary practices. And I must say that we are very proud that the House of Representatives is taking the lead, and of course the Senate will follow. We will now consider joining it together and coming together to do it together on a yearly basis.
Chief of Staff to the President and former Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila linked public distrust in lawmakers to a dysfunctional local government system, stressing the need for financial autonomy at the grassroots.
Consequently, everything that we do in the legislature is about maintaining the connection to the people on whose behalf we serve. When legislators debate a bill or motion in the chambers, we do so not as individuals expressing an opinion, but as representatives ensuring that the voices of our constituents are heard in the national arena and that their concerns and interests are factored into the legislative process and policy outcomes.
Former Speaker Yakubu Dogara called for increased accountability in legislative conduct, while the Minister of Women Affairs, represented by Dr. Asabe Bashiru, welcomed the proposal for reserved seats for women as a milestone for gender equity. The Open Week continues with public forums, exhibitions and dialogues aimed at strengthening civic participation and promoting transparency in governance. Aniet Patrick, Global Television News.
The Senate has reiterated its readiness to a careful and independent review of concurrent bills received from the House of Representatives. The Senate leader, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele Ekiti Central, stated this on the floor of the Red Chamber in Abuja. Our Senate correspondent, Topsy Kimber, completes the story.
The Senate leader, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, stressed that while legislative cooperation is guided by the principle of chamber reciprocity, this does not equate to automatic approval without proper examination. He highlighted that just last week, the Senate approved 6 bills from the House of Representatives, but emphasized that reciprocity does not mean garbage in, garbage out. The Senate leader added that each bill will be thoroughly scrutinized to reflect diverse public interests. Senator Bamidele assured both chambers that the Senate remains committed to maintaining legislative integrity by ensuring all concordant bills undergo comprehensive evaluation before passage.
We will continue to consider concurrent bills sent from the House of Representatives the same way they also consider our own, and we will ensure that every bill is given attention in overriding public interest.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, also noted recent progress, confirming that 6 House of Representative bills were addressed last week. He added that at least 2 more bills are slated for consideration this week, underscoring the Senate's ongoing commitment to collaborative lawmaking.
We'll continue to do so. So please let our brothers in the House of Representatives know that we cannot joke with anything that comes from there. It takes 2 hands to clap, and we'll continue to work together. So proceed.
This stand reaffirms the Senate's dedication to legislative diligence and partnership, ensuring every bill is assessed on its merit for the benefit of the public. In a related development, the bill for an act to enable the growth of digital economy governance in Nigeria passed second reading in the Senate. Topsy Kimber, reporting for Global Television News.
An effort to ensure transparency and efficiency in road maintenance funding, The House of Representatives has launched a special probe into implications of the Finance Act on the statutory 5% user charge allocated to Federal Road Maintenance Agency. An ad hoc committee has been inaugurated to probe how charges in the law have affected road maintenance funding in the country. Our correspondent, Annette Patrick, reports.
The House of Representatives is taking a closer look at the financial impact of the Finance Act on the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency 5% user charge. The charge, drawn from the pump price of petrol, diesel and other petroleum products, was originally designed to create a sustainable pool for maintaining Nigeria's federal road network.
And for the ordinary Nigerian, who have better roads to ply, and government can now apply other resources to constructing new roads and other social infrastructure.
The committee, chaired by Honorable Francis Waife, will engage key players in the midstream and downstream oil sectors, those directly affected by the Federal Road Maintenance Agency user charge policy. Stakeholders reassured the committee of their commitment to national development, while also highlighting the challenges faced in the implementation process.
True. So even the tank farm owners are going to be beneficiaries. It's like a win-win situation. And for the ordinary...
So there's also need to talk about a very strong insurance component into this discussion. And then thereafter, yes, it's a settled law by the Act, but I think we still need to go back and review and see what 5% means.
Clarifying public concerns, the committee emphasized that the investigation will not lead to any hike in pump price, but simply aims to enforce the already stipulated 5% charge for road maintenance.
It's very important for the socio-economic development of Nigeria and also national development. In doing so, we also ensure that we have roads that are fully well utilized, improves service.
The ad hoc committee is expected to submit its findings and recommendations to the House by Monday, July 17th. Annie T. Patrick, Global Television News.
The Benue State government has launched a quick response squad under the Civil Protection Guards to boost security across the state. Governor Hyacinth Alia, who performed the launch in Makudi, charged the officers to complement the efforts of controversial security agencies in delivering results. Felicity Indere tells us more.
As part of efforts to restore peace and enhance security, the Benue State government has launched a homegrown initiative, the Quick Response Squad, tasked with serving as first responders to threats across rural and urban communities. Governor Hyacinth Alia at the launch described the move as integral to his broader security vision, emphasized the need for absolute loyalty from the officers, noting that the squad will operate under the supervision of conventional security agencies to strengthening overall security efforts in the state. Governor Alia, represented by his deputy, Dr. Sam Odi, announced plans by the government to establish a security trust fund to meet the financial and logistical needs of the squad and other security outfits in the state.
It is our desire that this Quick Response Squad, which is a joint task force of different security arms, will live up to the expectation for which the visionary, the governor of Benue State, has initiated it.
Also speaking, the special advisor to the governor on internal security and public safety, Joe Ha, assured of the readiness of his team to defend the state if given the needed backing.
We are not a replacement to the conventional security, but we are just a support to the conventional security comprising of the military, the police, the civil defense, and other paramilitary. We are first responders to all crises. The police and all of them cannot be everywhere, but we are in every council ward in Benue State. Yes, you heard me. Thank you very much, you heard me. And we are willing and we are ready to protect this our land if given the necessary support.
The launch in Makudi serves as the pilot phase of the initiative, with plans to extend the development to all 23 local government areas of Benue State. The Quick Response Squad is made up of personnel drawn from the Civil Joint Task Force, Nigerian Vigilante Group, Nigerian Forest and Security Services, and the Benue Civil Protection Guard. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News.
The Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, Sonny Echonu, has identified lack of knowledge and ignorance of procedure as a bedrock for not assessing interventions by tertiary institutions. Speaking at the opening ceremony of a two-day strategic sensitization engagement for DEX officers of beneficiary institutions held at the fund's headquarters in Abuja, Echonu said nearly 1 trillion of funds allocated is not assessed by institutions. Global TV correspondent Ramsey Enoch Agbo reports.
The Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Sonny Echonu, in an interview with journalists at a strategic sensitization workshop organized by TET Fund at its headquarters in Abuja, says the fund has been re-engineering and reprioritizing interventions, which necessitated the workshop.
Over the last 2 years, TET Fund has gone through some major transformation. We've been re-engineering and re-prioritizing various intervention areas through our annual disbursements to our institutions. And we felt a very strong need to sensitize the TET Fund desk officers and the key actors, heads of academic planning, heads of ICT, and heads of the entrepreneurship, to bring them up to date with the programs we are planning and executing in their institutions.
Some of the participants, who are drawn from both public and private sectors, in an interview expressed appreciation to TET Fund for organizing the workshop.
Most of the speakers said it's a forum for us to interact, discuss our challenges we beneficiary institutions face with assessing TET Fund interventions, and then give them feedback.
TET Fund is wonderful. TET Fund is very, very impactful, especially in our tertiary institutions, because of the interventions that these institutions are able to access.
It has been a fulcrum for university training and for government institutions for a long time, and this opportunity for this training and workshop is exciting for participants, and so far it's been very revealing and we're happy about it.
TET Fund interventions have been major boost for both students and academias in Nigeria tertiary institutions. Therefore, strategic engagements are necessary for proper access to funds. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global Television.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express returns, United States restricts Nigerian non-immigrant visas to 3 months single entry. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Express on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has slashed the depot price of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, to 820 naira per litre from 838 naira per litre as competition heightens in Nigeria's domestic market. The adjustment was also due to the drop in crude oil prices to $70 per barrel, for more than $77 per barrel in June 2025. However, other operators have adjusted their depot prices at different rates in order to be competitive under the current circumstances. Still on the news on the foreign scene now, the U.S. Department of State has limited a non-immigrant, non-diplomatic visas issued to citizens of Nigeria to a single entry with a 3-month validity period. In a statement, the United States mission in Nigeria said the move aligns with the Donald Trump administration's reciprocal non-immigrant visa policy, impacting several countries, including Nigeria. The mission encouraged Nigerian travelers to respect and adhere to terms of their visas and ensure travel documents are authentic, accurate, and up-to-date to date. The United Nations Special Rapporteur on the human rights situation in occupied Palestinian territory has hit out at countries that allowed Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to fly over their airspace en route to the United States, suggesting that they may have flaunted their obligations under international law. Albanese said the government of Italy, France and Greece needed to explain why they provided safe passage to Netanyahu, who they are politically obliged to arrest as an internationally wanted suspect when they flew over their territory on his way to meet United States President Donald Trump on Sunday for talks. All three countries are signatories of the Rome Statute, the treaty that established the Hague-based International Criminal Court in 2002, which last year issued arrest warrants for Netanyahu and former Israeli Defense Minister Gallant for their war crimes and crimes against humanity perpetrated during Israel's war in Gaza. And of course, in top sports stories now, Ahmed Musa will continue playing for Nigeria Premier Football League club Kano Pillars, despite his current status as general manager of the club. Musa was appointed general manager of the four-time Nigerian Pillar Football League champions last week. The former Leicester City player has officially assumed the role. As Global TV News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories again. On Global TV News Express, we brought to you that the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has unveiled the former national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, as the chairman of the Board of Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. And in business, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has slashed the depot price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, to 820 naira per litre from 838 naira per litre as competition heightens in Nigeria's domestic market. And on the foreign scene, the U.S. Department of State has limited non-immigrant and non-diplomatic visas issued to citizens of Nigeria to a single entry with 3-month validity period. And finally, in sports, the U.S. Department of State has limited non-immigrant and non-diplomatic visas issued to citizens of Nigeria to a single entry with 3-month validity period. And that's it on Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @GlobalTVNG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.